Welcome back, Greenwood. This is Mr. Bickel. I'm here with another cartoon lesson for you. For this lesson, just like all the others, all you'll need is a pencil and some paper. So if you need to go get that, pause the video and grab what you need and then come on back and restart. So today I'm going to show you ways to make your characters look any direction you really want them to. Okay, so I got a couple things in place here. These are just the circles that are the heads and the noses facing different ways. The nose is the key thing when you're trying to make your character look different directions. So I'm gonna add the rest of the keyhole shape to these heads just to kind of bring you back to the way we had been working for a while. Show you how we can go from the keyhole shape to a character looking any way you'd like. So again, that keyhole shape is just two lines coming down from a circle that are not quite parallel. They flare out a little bit. Of course, as you develop characters, you'll be able to skip the keyhole part perhaps and make more of a natural body if you want. There's no rules really in cartooning. You can just do all kinds of things. I'll add another one over here, and I'm going to make this character looking, let's see, I'm going to look it up a little bit higher than that first one, so it's a little bit different. Okay, and the keyhole shape here, there we go. So we've all got this kind of start. Now, again, the nose is the key. So in this case, this nose is pointing upward this way. So this character's looking up at the sky, maybe checking out some birds or something. So I'm going to put his eyes way up here because his nose is there, and I'll come back now. The nose is here. So remember, the ear always goes across from the nose. So I'm going to I'll kind of draw a line out here, and I'll put that ear back here. Okay, maybe a little smaller than that, but there we go, an ear. And then I can give him a mouth. Maybe he's wondering, like, what is going on up there? And I'll give him some hair, something kind of basic like that. Of course, remember last time we talked about how when you draw that circle and then the nose, you do have a line there, so you're going to maybe want to take an eraser to clean that up a little bit. There we go. Look, so we've got a character who's clearly looking up at the sky. He's looking maybe at the sun or something here. Wondering, like, I think it's going to be an outdoor recess day. All right. So if that was the case, he'd be smiling, wouldn't he? So I'd have to give him a little smile there for outdoor recess. Here we go. Now this character's looking down. He might be checking out something on the ground there. So his nose is facing down. I'm going to put his eyes right there above the nose because it's still going to be kind of close. I'll take that line out of there to make it look a little better. And then his hair is going to kind of be up on the top of his head there because we're going to see more of the top of his head if he's looking down. Give him kind of some shaggy hair there. His ears might be a little bit kind of buried under his hair. That'd be good. There we go. So there's a character looking way up. Here's a character looking way down. All right. Now this character might be looking kind of upward off to the left there. So I'll give him a little smile here. Give him some. Oh, forgot about those eyes. So I'll put those eyes here and maybe another up there. So he's looking upward. Again, across from the nose. I come back here to find where his ear belongs, and then I give him a little bit of hair. Bring that eye down a little bit more, maybe. Okay, now we come to an interesting one. This character, his nose looks very small, doesn't it? But that's because he's actually looking backwards. So if someone was looking behind them, they were turning their head around, you wouldn't see their eyes. And you wouldn't, but you would see maybe the back of their head and their and the side of their ear, but there's a little bit of nose sticking out there, so I'm going to put an ear about here, and then I'll just show you if we just give him some hair here like that. Here's a character who's kind of looking behind him to see what's going on back there. And here is a character who's looking way up again. I'll give him some eyes over here like that maybe. Take that line out of the nose. Actually, that does remind me, in this case, this is one time when you wouldn't take that line away because the nose would be kind of just poking out and you would see more of the head. So that's the time to leave that line in there. But over here, I can take it out. And there we go. Now again, I'm going to come back here across from the nose back to the back of the head. Maybe not quite that far back, but let's see if I can fix that up a little bit. Back about in here, and then give him a little bit of hair here. He's peeking up. Give him a little expression here, so you can see the placement of these things. The mouth can really vary a lot, and play around with it. You'll be able to get different expressions and all sorts of different things. So I'm just giving you some basic guidelines. Of course, now one other thing you want to be keep in mind is if this character's looking up that way, he may have an arm here that's kind of hanging down, but his feet aren't going to go out like that necessarily. It would actually be more like this, where he's got his feet facing that way. And a character looking down like this, they may have their feet out here like this, maybe more forward looking, perhaps. Something like that. Now here's a character, he's off to the left a little bit, so let's make sure his feet are oriented sort of the way they ought to be. All right, and I know I keep telling you we're going to talk about footwear and stuff, and we will get to that in some future lessons. But for the time being, I'm just helping you focus more on some of the other elements. The shoes and things like that will come later. So here's a character looking backwards. So we can kind of, maybe we can have his feet kind of off like that a little bit, if you'd like. Something like that. There we go. And finally, here's one, and he may be standing facing forward, but his head is looking up and off to the right. So you can just see how you can add a little bit of almost a little movement there with some of these characters. And then, of course, their arms can be doing whatever you'd like them to be doing. So this guy might be reaching up here and pointing to something. He's like, hey, check that out. Right? And this guy's like, well, he may even have his arms kind of crossed or something, you can't even see them. You could suggest that this way. So there are just so many things to do. It's really kind of fun to play around with it, and just, do sketches, and you can have them saying things if you'd like, talking to each other, telling each other knock-knock jokes or things like that. So it's a lot of fun to cartoon, and I hope you'll practice some of these things, because these do make your characters look a little bit more lively. And I hope this was fun. It sure was fun for me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. And in the meantime, have a good time drawing, doing whatever you love to do. All right, I miss you all. Well, bye for now. It's Mr. Bickel. See you again.